In a perfect world, all of the vehicles on the road would be the same. You would know from personal experience what each vehicle can and can't do. Like people in the real world, vehicles come in different sizes, shapes, and colors. Therefore, we need to deal with many vehicles with many different characteristics. This is called traffic mix. Cars of other shapes and sizes and pedestrians are part of this mix. And other vehicles are also part of the mix. HTS usually stands for Highway Transportation System. In this video, HTS will also stand for hide, turn, and stop. A variety of vehicle types will be explored to determine how they can hide from your view, how they might differ in their turning, and how they stop. A semi-trailer combination. Well, the size is obvious. Because of the large size, semis can hide much of the road and other traffic from your view. Now, what else might they hide? When large vehicles turn, they need more room than your car. Often a truck will move in one direction before it will turn in the opposite direction. Notice the traffic that the truck hides as it slows down and turns. When following large vehicles, watch for the signal lights and don't get too anxious. Some people try to make a right turn alongside of a truck only to find out that the truck is also turning right and, well, there's a big ouch. Vehicles that weigh more than cars tend to slow down when climbing a hill and pick up extra speed going down the hill. If you find yourself behind a truck, expect this to happen. If you're on a multi-lane roadway, use a different lane so that you are not caught behind the heavy vehicle. This car was parked too close to the truck on purpose. And let's take a look now from inside the truck. Notice the car is not visible. If you were the driver, what would you see? Now, if we move the camera up and to the right, we see that the car is really there. So give yourself a little extra space when you find yourself interacting with large trucks. Trucks have a much larger blind spot than cars. A good tip to know is that if you can't see the mirrors, the driver can't see you. Make sure you can be seen. Many of you have ridden in a bus. Did you ever think of what they might hide from the driver's view? Or how they turn a corner? Or even how quickly they can stop? The size of the bus and the special color and lights of a school bus make them highly visible. You most likely will encounter a school bus in the morning and mid-afternoon, but be prepared. Interacting with buses can occur any time of the day. No matter when you encounter a bus, its size can hide important information, and their longer wheelbase means that they often turn wide. Buses also require a longer distance to stop than cars. The design of a large bus allows for part of the bus to be behind the rear wheels, one reason why turning becomes more hazardous. Watch now as this bus turns right. The bus driver takes the turn a bit slower than a car would. Notice how the back of the bus swings out to the left. If we would have been over anxious and had tried to pass that bus as it was turning, we might have caused a big dent in the side of our car. Try explaining that to your insurance agent. Yes, school buses will frequently stop. But did you know that bus drivers may be driving extra slow, timing their stops to cause the least interruption to the traffic flow? As we approach railroad crossings, be aware that the size of the bus might hide the railroad crossing from your view. A bus and some other types of vehicles are required to stop at all railroad crossings. What are some of the other vehicles that need to stop? How many other vehicles are at this intersection? Even that big gas truck was hidden by the bus. In recent years, sport utility vehicles, SUVs, and pickup trucks have become more popular. These vehicles can be longer, wider, and higher than a car. Notice that when an SUV is behind you, it can hide the view to the rear. With a car, you can look straight through the windows, but not with a taller vehicle. What might this pickup truck be hiding? SUVs have a higher center of gravity than a car. In a turn, an SUV driver needs to slow down more than a lower profile car. Watch this driver move from side to side. Even though this SUV has a very good suspension system, its higher center of gravity creates a bit of a sway. And if the corner is taken too fast, it could lead to a rollover. As a driver, you must see things and predict what might occur. Motorcycles have been involved in many crashes because car drivers did not see them. Changing your car position on the road and better searching techniques will allow you to see the motorcycles. By checking for signal lights and body language, this may allow you to anticipate what the driver might do next. Can the truck driver see the motorcycle? Motorcycles do not take much to be hidden. This motorcycle cannot hide the semi in front of it. But what if it was ahead of the semi? Because of the smaller size, motorcycles can turn more quickly than a car. Seeing motorcycles ahead of you are difficult, but a cycle behind you can move in and out of your view very quickly. Once you see a motorcycle in your mirrors, keep track of where it is. Remember, a cycle can maneuver much faster than you can, and it can disappear into a blind spot more easily than a car. These tracks cross the road at a right angle. Sometimes the tracks are not at a right angle, or there may be a large pothole between the tracks. Expect a motorcyclist to turn to avoid losing control. A crack or pothole that would cause problems for a motorcycle may not be a problem for a car. Motorcycles have a shorter stopping distance than the larger vehicles. When following a motorcycle, allow a greater following distance. Staying back is the best response. As we pass this bike, we are planning to turn right at the next intersection. The bike does not hide much, but it can hide from us. We must keep track of the bikes. Mirrors are often not enough. This biker sees a hazard in the road, makes a head check, and swerves to avoid the hazard. If you did not see that head check, you might have been surprised by the sudden turn. Bicyclists are supposed to signal their intentions, but from experience, we all know that sometimes they do not signal. We do see the head check and the movement to the left. We should take this as a clue that a turn is coming. Everyone knows we must stop for pedestrians. As we approach this pedestrian, we might expect him to look at us and wait for us to pass. Since he stepped off the curb, we are obliged to stop and wait for him to cross. At this intersection, there's a marked crosswalk. The mother and child present a different potential problem. A child may dart away from the mother without looking. Notice that both of the cars stay stopped until the pedestrian crossing is clear in both lanes. As we have seen, this is not a perfect world. All of the vehicles on the road are not the same. And as you viewed this video, you saw some of the differences between the various kinds of vehicles. This was called traffic mix. Watching a video will not show you everything that you need to know about traffic mix, but you should now have an understanding of what to be aware of as you drive. Remember, various vehicles can hide necessary information from us or be hidden from us. Turning methods, stopping characteristics vary with the vehicle's size and shape. You must keep these points in mind as you drive.